What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the walkthrough. Another week, another legend, man. Everybody was tuned in Saturday to the big versus battle. Ludacris versus Nelly. Literally hundreds of thousands of people tuned in to enjoy and celebrate those two hip hop icons. And today, I got one of them, man, a close friend of mine. Ludacris is here. We're gonna keep the
What up?
celebration going. I haven't
Yeah,
seen this guy in a minute.
man,
Always
we
great
got
to see.
history, man. History.
Yes, yes. Let me tell you. Let me tell them about the first. I think it was the first interview we did. It was like when Back for the First Time was coming out. I get the assignment for MTV,
Yeah.
and they say, "Hey, I want you to go meet Ludacris, and he's getting a new tattoo." You remember that? We went to
Wow.
the tattoo parlor
In
in
Atlanta?
NY. No, he was in New York.
Damn, what tattoo did I get? That's crazy.
It was on. It was something on your arm. That was it was a big
Wow.
ass tattoo too.
No. I'm like you starting to jog my memory. By the way, Saeem, let me just let you know I have one of the worst memories in the music industry. You know what? I do so I do so much that I tend to forget a lot, but then when you start telling the story, then it slowly starts to jog the memory and things start coming back. So I do kind of remember this because I think it was documented and maybe somebody was taking pictures and stuff. And I don't know, like I
Yeah.
feel like it wasn't just me and you, like we had a crew with us or something.
Yeah, we had a big camera crew. We put it
Yeah,
on MTV,
there you go.
and that
You
was
remember.
my intro to Mr. Bridges here right now, man.
That's dope. And you know what's crazy about that? I only have 3 tattoos, so it's not much of a story to tell. I think it was one of the only times I was in a tattoo parlor because I stopped getting tattoos once I started shooting movies and they started making me remove them for the part. And I was like, I don't like getting up early and going in the trailer and having to remove my tattoos off my arms to be in this movie. So I don't feel like I need to get any more tattoos.
Yeah, man. Shoot, I remember when 50 took that South Side off his back, man. When he started getting into all of those movies, and he was saying the same thing. They make you remove them, but and that
Yeah.
that was a beautiful back mural that 50 had, man. Too. I,
Right.
yeah. So I see the Fro is coming back.
Man, the fro is coming back. I was making sure I tell everybody this is 100% my natural hair, juices and berries. There's no bald spots anywhere here. This is all me. You don't see any grays. I don't know what it is, man. I guess I'm aging gracefully. For whatever they say, I got good genes. My family took that, it wasn't too many bald people in my family. So I'm feeling real good about this.
I
Yes.
love it, man. I told Jeff, shout out to Jeff Dixon. I said Chris getting the Fro back. That's like Q bringing the Jerry curl back. He's gonna be at one of his most dangerous points as an
Right.
MC.
Absolutely, man. The strength is definitely in the hair when it comes to MCing. I'm starting to notice that. So it's going to be some real good music coming soon. I'm already working on a lot of different things. But yes, the strength is in the hair. I'm just letting my soul glow. Shaheem.
What was it like for you when the Fro started to become so iconic, man? We see the caricature in the back, but the Fro was synonymous with Chris at a time, as well as the braids too. The braids was definitely synonymous as well.
Man, you know what? I think it represents a lot of different things having an afro. I mean, not to get too deep into the Afrocentricity of it and how people would tease us about our hair and try and make us feel bad about our hair. But when you start going into the workforce and what people live vicariously through someone who has complete freedom to do whatever the hell that they want to do, because you have certain regulations and certain jobs and certain things that you can't do and what society tells you can't do if you're in a certain building amongst a certain amount of people. It's the ultimate freedom. It's the ultimate heritage statement symbol. It's the ultimate, sign of strength, power. I love my afro. The only reason I cut it was because I had it for so long, then had the braids, and then when I started shooting movies here and there, I had to switch I obviously had to switch my look up and I had to cut my hair. So, You're right, man. It's on its way back.
Yeah, speaking of movies, I was really disappointed. I'm a movie fanatic, man. I love going
Yeah.
to the movie theaters, and I love the act of actually going to the theater and getting the popcorn or whatever and sitting down and enjoying the film. We used to, back in the days, we used to sneak into the extra movies, you do a little bit extra, but since this whole pandemic struck, it actually struck Hollywood very hard. A lot of movies either had to shut down production or postpone it.
Right. Or their budgets got
Yeah.
cut. People had to stitch things together. So I already know
Or
where you're going with it, bro. It's just like low budgets and trying to stitch things together and doing the best with what you can with it and just throwing it out there. Man, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Fast and Furious, that's just such a staple. I'm there opening night for everyone. I gotta salute you on that. Congratulations, man, because you
Yeah.
do a hell of a job. I love that your character is not just a tag along, like he's a vital part of the team. Like he be saving y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You know what's crazy, man, is that like ever since I started off in Too Fast, Too Furious, it was interesting because obviously I had that limp and I was just a hustler. And so the character has evolved so much when you jump from 2 to 5 that once you started seeing me in 5 and me being kind of like the backbone of the crew and the tech guy, you saw a whole different side and evolution of the character Tej. And I love the fact that you got the African American dude that is holding it down on an intelligent tip when it comes to that. And all I was going to tell you is as we continue going on, because it is the gift that keeps on giving and a blessing when we keep doing more Fast and Furious movies and we never expected it to get this far. When I have to tell and I have to fight for the character to continue to evolve because I wouldn't want to be in these movies if my character just stayed stagnant and you keep seeing him do the same thing all the time. Therefore, I just, it's good to let everybody know that I have to put up a fight as well when it comes to going to the producers and going to the director and saying what I feel the character needs or different sides to show as we at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and obviously it becomes harder and harder. But you saw I got a little chance to fight in one of them, and now this next one that comes out in April of next year because it got pushed back, I get to fight a little more. So you're gonna see a lot more evolution from the character of Tej, and I just want to make the note that it's not like they give it to me. I have to go out there and fight for it, literally.
and you earned it, and you deserve it, man. Like I love what you're doing, and I love that you getting on that screen and you representing the culture in such a big way, man. Like of course it's acting and it's Hollywood, but Chris is representing the culture, hip hop, ATL,
Yeah.
and it's such a big deal. Is it on the set? Are you guys really that big family that we always see portrayed in and out the press? I mean, obviously we seen Tyrese and The Rock have little words, but for the most part, I just see y'all so clicked up.
Yeah, no, to answer your question, it is, man. It's 100% a family. And I think it's all of us that make it a point to do that. But I can say that Vin does very well of gathering everybody together consistently. We'll get together, we'll have dinners just out of nowhere where we get together. We'll have birthday parties where his one of his kids may have a birthday and he'll invite everybody and tell them to bring the kids. And then it's the same thing when we have our birthday parties for our children. He'll bring his kids, and it's like that for the whole crew. And I think that that's what makes our dynamic and our chemistry even that much more special while we are on screen because we are true life friends and family. No one can ask for that, man. It's one of those things where when you see other people shooting movies, they yell cut and people go immediately to their dressing room. I don't know. Can we curse on this? I'm trying to
Yeah,
trying to
we
screen
we, we, we
myself.
live. We going tough, man. We could do whatever you want to do, man.
Okay. So no, I was just basically saying, when you shoot a movie, most of the time they yell cut and people are just gone. Like they don't fuck with each other at all. They may be cordial to one another while they're around each other, but they ain't inviting you to their crib. They're not trying to go out to eat. So we have a whole different dynamic with this family, man. And for it to be in the upper echelon and the top 10 elite biggest grossing movies and franchises in the entire world, I think that is a testament to why we are so successful, is because we really do fuck with each other off screen.
Yeah, man. I was gonna ask. We had Ice T on here, and obviously he's made such a phenomenal foray into acting. He's actually the longest running actor on a TV series. He's going into season 22. If it wasn't for
Damn.
COVID-19, he would be filming season 22 right now, man.
Wow,
And
man.
I look at you yourself, man.
I was on
Fast,
that.
yeah,
On
hell
Fast
yeah,
and
big
Furious,
time.
that shit been airing like 15 years straight. So I never thought in a million years I'd do Law and Order and it would be still airing to this day. And they were both, the ones that I did were finales. And so, man, I think I got a nomination for one of them for something. I don't even remember, but yeah, man, that's a blessing right there. Shout out to Ice T, a pioneer. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him.
And then you got one of the longest running movie series. 10, I don't know another franchise that got all of the same cast for the most part and giving us 10 movies and still making, and not still making $1 billion plus each clip.
Yeah, like I said, man, that's one of those things where you learn a lot when you are in a franchise that's grossing billions of dollars. I mean, it's one of those dreams come true. Man, Shaheem, I was saying this the other day. I was like, people in this world, when you think about the number one dream jobs that most people have, you have number one is a rock star, and then number two is a movie star. So I must have done something right in my previous life to be able to satisfy the curiosity of being, doing both of those. And I'm just very happy, man. Like I, I have a lot of more goals in life, but you can honestly say, man, think about it. It's at this point, humbly speaking, it's just like it's an extra credit type thing going on with me at this point. I'm like, yo, whatever
Yeah,
else happens from here, hey man, I could honestly say I fucking did the damn thing. And that doesn't mean I'm not still hungry and want to accomplish a hell of a lot more, but wow, look at
you did
what
it.
has happened. Look at what I've done. And I didn't do it by myself. So shout out to my team and everybody that's around me and everybody that continues to support me and lift me up through all different times of my life. It's a testament to show that you got to keep a strong circle around you.
Hell yeah, my guys, man, Jeff, Shaka Zulu, the
Yeah.
whole DTP team. A lot of rappers, man, they come out, they sell a certain amount of records, and the whole team that helped them get to that point for one reason or another disappeared, man. But it's dope that you got uh your team been rocking with you from the beginning, man. And those guys, for the people that don't know them, because they are very humble, but they're very powerful in the game, and they are so loved behind the scenes, man. It's
Man,
dope
and
to
we
see
make
us
the
so
the
rocking.
we make the perfect team because Shaka and Jeff. And shout out to Jeff, man. His birthday. This is his birthday week. He's celebrating his birthday. So what I was gonna say is we make this triangle offense is what we call it, and it's so strategic because it's great. So when two of us agree on something and the third one doesn't, we got to go with it too. But when we have conversations, man, it provokes so much thought from me and gives me so many different perspectives. So after almost 20 years in the industry, I am a culmination automatically of not only Ludacris's thought behavior, but of Shaka Zulu and Jeff Dixon's thought process as well. So I mean, I couldn't be
Word.
happier, man. That's what I've grown to be. That's what I've evolved to be. And we talk about giving people their flowers, man. I wasn't able to really give Shaka and Jeff their flowers, but they deserve just as much as I do, as much praise, if not more, because they the ones that stand behind this monster that you see as Ludacris.
What gives you more butterflies, or when do you get the most anxious? Like right before an album is coming out, or before a big film is coming out?
Probably more of an album because with films it's a collective. You know what I mean? Unless I was doing Will Smith, what's the name of the movie where it was just him in that movie?
Oh,
What was
I
it?
Am Legend. I Am
Yeah,
Legend.
I Am Legend, and you need to be scared if you need to be nervous as hell to make sure you and your dog is the only motherfuckers in the movie, then I would be a little afraid. But yeah, when it comes to music, I think because you put your heart and soul into it, and you're pretty much one of two main elements. There's you, and then there's the producer, and then you have guest appearances. That's when you're gonna be the most nervous because it's pretty much just you don't put so much into your art. Now, if you're not nervous and you just threw some shit out there into the public that wasn't gonna help shift the culture, then that's different. But I know artists that really care. They put their heart and soul into it, and then you hear some random nigga like this is trash. That's gonna hurt your feelings, bro.
Mm.
It's definitely gonna fuck with you. But you gotta learn to understand, man, that everyone's human, everyone is opinionated. You know what I mean? Not everybody's gonna like it. Everyone's subjective to what they like. And I finally got to that place in my life where I'm so comfortable and okay with that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm so okay with it, bro. Because I'm not gonna agree with everything that everybody says, and they're not gonna agree with everything that I say.
Well, you could do that now because you've certified yourself as a legend. Like make no
Man,
mistake,
hold on, hold
20
on.
years
Now listen,
later.
not to cut you off. Now I'm not gonna say that
Yeah.
that's not true, but I need for the first time we've had many interviews with each
Hmm.
other, and I feel I respect your opinion so much in this industry, and I think a lot of people do. Just for me as an individual, I need to understand one why you just said that, like what solidifies me as a legend, and two, did you feel just as strongly about your words you saying that right before this battle, and do you feel even more comfortable saying it after, or was it the same the whole way through? Talk to me.
Nah, but the battle that was just a party to me. You know what I'm saying? That was just a party. Like no matter the outcome of the battle, like if y'all really got into it and y'all stopped battling song for song and somebody would have caught a L or whatever, it was no way that it could tarnish your career like what both of you guys have done. And I got a lot of love for Nelly, and I have been for the people that's watching this. I have been in St. Louis when they had a storm and it shut the entire city down. Like I we was on a budget for MTV. I had to stay an extra day because it's shut the city down when a storm happens. But with you, what I judge MCs on are first of all lyrics. That's important. We come from that. Even uh Shaka and Jeff, they come from Brand Nubian. They come from Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
it's
Yeah, man.
important. And I know all of the people that you've studied, that you've admired. UGK, Buster, all of that. So lyrics are important. Then you got to get into the impact that you had on the game. When you came in, I felt that you picked up right where Busta, Missy, Puff, they didn't leave off because they were still smoking in 2000. Let's get that clear. 2000,
Absolutely.
they were still on
Absolutely.
fire. But the trend that they started in the 90s with these elaborate music videos and just having fun. I thought you put that up for the next wave of artists that really, if you think about it, from your class of individuals when it comes to music videos, the only person that really was able to keep up with you at that time was Kanye, and he even came a few years later. Kanye wasn't out in
Right.
2000. I remember interviewing Kanye in '01, just as Izzo that he
Yep.
did for Jay-Z was his first record. So, you set a trend with that. Now you go to live performances where
Wow.
MC move a
I'm loving
crowd.
this. I'm loving this right now, bro. Come on,
Live
man.
live performances. Let's look at the people in that era and let's look at the people now. It's not too many that can hang with you still. Live performances. I think in that era, not talking about the people from the 90s, but who came out in 2000, uh or Nelly was he caught the late 90s. Nelly caught the late 90s. You actually caught 99. So you still from that era, but it wasn't nobody that really could hang with you on stage like that. X, Buster,
Right.
a few, but it was a elite. Now you go from albums like content on the albums, who's making hot albums. Like every year you was hitting us with so many different albums, flows, like the flows was ridiculous. And I've been told you about that Sierra record when it first came out. I was one of the
Right.
first ones. Me and Whitney, we was playing that in the MTV office on repeat. Then you got to look at the longevity. What really makes somebody legendary as well is the longevity. Like, are these albums, are these songs still standing up? Like you crossed all of the checks, man. So
Yeah, so man,
definitely.
I'm so glad that you told me that, because I've been doing a lot of interviews and talking to a lot of people, and I'm just falling in love not only with hip hop again. I never felt all the way out, but when you have that many albums and you got that many songs and you start doing other stuff, you kind of you might lose your path a little bit in terms of not being emerged in the way that you maybe once were, especially when it becomes harder and harder to try to reinvent yourself after you got like 7, 8 albums. I mean, come
Hmm.
on. So
Hmm.
having these conversations again and listening to things that I told you earlier that made me fall in love with hip hop in the first place, it's very interesting to see how people define what a legend is and categorize it in a certain way and how subjective they are. And by having all these different checklists that you have, it just makes me wonder, at what point in people's career does someone consider them a legend? It's almost like you start having those arguments and people be like, man, get the hell out of here. Or someone's a lyricist, or they need more albums, or they need more time. But I just love to hear this because, it's not like I wasn't convinced, but you can never really just tell everybody you're a legend. You have to, the fans and the influencers in this music industry are the ones that have to solidify you as a legend. That's how I
Now,
feel.
okay, and to build on that, because I love the fact that we could talk about hip hop on this program. I think you are one of, even though I consider you a legend, I consider you one of the most underrated legends. Yourself and Redman, I don't think they get enough props that you have for the things that y'all have done lyrically. Like your style is so unorthodox, and when I first heard you, I know some people compared you, but you remind me of Daz Effects when I first heard you. I'm gonna tell you
Wow.
why.
Wow.
Daz was right in the pocket as far as the flows, and they always had them punchlines that was either like pop culture or like television or something like that. Now, when you did the like the Robert Townsend Partners in Crime, I just turned the CD player off, man. I said this dude is crazy. I said
Man,
this dude
listen.
is doing Robert Townsend Partners in Crime.
Yeah, I've never heard the comparison of DOS Effects, but I definitely used to listen to them. I remember Outkast specifically saying, knows, especially men that's in here, the people that I listen to the most that probably helped shape, the present day Ludacris, Common Sense. You said Redman. Redman was probably my number one, and I tell him that all the time. LL Cool J made me want to rap, and then it was like a combination. When you hear the whole Death Row and Snoop, and then Biggie and Pac, when you are a fan of hip hop, you kind of just find your own voice. But you're not necessarily trying to be like one specific person. You find your own way, just being a nerd and having a love for this art, man. And again, I say that just to let you know that I'm getting back into that space again, and I love the feeling. I love the
Yeah.
feeling. I was just watching. I'm making a playlist on YouTube, bruh. You understand what's on my playlist? I'm talking about shit like the artifacts and I mean, like,
Outside of the tracks, all of that.
yeah, like J. Rue the Damager, and then you're going back to Southern playlistic Cadillac music. Ben's a Beamer is like one of the hardest songs, and I'm just going through Scarface stuff and going through Common stuff, and man, like you gotta have that little kid feeling. You gotta feel like a kid. You have to. What makes you love it? Because you get out of that shit, man. You get out of that. You get out of why
Yeah.
you care, and that's when things go sour and they go wrong. So you gotta stay in that fan element, and a lot of it is because the business element of it will skew your the creativity because you're constantly thinking about the business of it. When we first came in here, it was only creativity. We weren't thinking so much about the business. So you gotta
Mhm.
gotta separate yourself and be able to get back in that zone.
When you came in the game, man, like that era, we go back for, and we're on Twitch right now, one of the biggest gaming platforms. Shout out to all of the gamers, and I know some of the people watching this. Dev, give me the numbers. What we looking at? What we looking like right now? But I know some of the people watching this, they they might not even been born in 99, 2000, or they might have just been young kids. But I want you to just elaborate what it was like coming into that game. You coming in the game 99. Biggie passed away 97, but his impact is still felt. Puff Daddy is killing it. Nas is still in the game. Jay Z is on the come up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we over 100,000 live right now, Chris. We breaking the record, baby.
Oh wow.
100,000 people
That's
live
dope.
right
That's
now.
dope as heck, man.
Yeah, man. So
I
I
love
appreciate
that,
you.
man. Fresh off this versus battle. I'm sure that has a lot to do with it too.
Hell
But I,
yeah.
I appreciate love right now, man.
Hell yeah. So
To answer your question, it was I was coming off the heels of Outkast. The Outkast broke wide. They got the South the real respect that I feel like we deserve in terms of being looked at as lyricists. And it was difficult because especially when I signed to Def Jam, I was the first artist signed to Def Jam South,
mhm.
and that's what they called it. And so, we were a little worried because we were like, man, Def Jam has never marketed an artist from the South. We don't know how this is gonna go. We don't know if they know how to market me. And to my advantage, and they actually did, and things took off because I had that independent album before I got signed to them, and the single "What's Your Fantasy" was already taken off. So they just put the engine behind it and the machine behind it. But to really dive into what you were saying, man, I was just so happy to have an engine behind me as someone who was already doing everything on his own. That it was like I had horse blinders on. I wasn't necessarily so much worried about who was doing what in hip hop at the time. My concentration was just on making my own mark. And I knew that from the feedback of everybody in the world that I had something unique and I had something special, just like you said. And it's what made me just go full fucking throttle. I was just like, it wasn't even no looking back. I didn't take a second to think about anything but making records, doing shows, and trying to put my people on. And that's exactly what we did.
One of the things that you told me early on, it probably was around Word of Mouth album, or maybe I think it was Chicken and Beer album. To be honest with you, you were saying it's great for artists to come in and make an impact and go platinum and have hit records, but can you do it over again and over again and over again? And you know, Def Jam at a certain point, Def Jam, you had Jay Z, X, Ja, you over there, everybody's
Redman,
coming,
Method
Red and
Man.
Meth. It was forget what's going on in the rest of hip hop.
Yeah.
Just that label.
Yeah. That's why they came out with the Def Jam Fight for NY. They came out with a video game. You came out with all these different things, and then you had documentaries. I mean, that's exactly why, man. That somebody needs to make a movie about that damn. And we was just talking about
Word.
this the other day. It was like those niggas smoking in there, you know what I mean, buying weed. You could do a little bit of everything at the Def Jam office. Niggas gambling
Yeah.
in that mud, you know what I mean? Rolling dice, people winning money in there all late hours of the night, everything.
Yeah, man. And how were you able to come? Like, I'm a big fan of the documentary that just aired for 5 straight weeks, the Michael Jordan Last Dance. And this is an era again that we grew up in, and we got to relive that greatness. And as a youngster, as a kid, you kind of take it for granted that every year they coming back and they gonna win because Jordan's the greatest. But I also look at hip hop, man. For you to come back every year and a half with another album. You don't repeat no flows. You know what I'm saying? Lyrics is still banging. It's like, what type of zone was you in when you was like at that peak of your turnout rate?
Again, man, I think it's a culmination of me being a fan of hip hop. And I
Yeah.
wasn't only a fan of the Coast, man. I study, and now I'm back in my study stage, and that's why I'm saying I'm feeling it. I feel it. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Sometimes you just got to reset yourself. You got to refill your cup. I took the last 4 to 5 years. I'm sure you saw I was traveling the entire fucking world, Shaheem. Everywhere. I hit all the continents except maybe Antarctica and damn, you know, I hit pretty much every damn where, and I've satisfied my curiosity. I just refill my cup. And now's a good time for me to just slap people upside the head again.
Hell yeah, man. Um, you spoke about Scarface. We know that he was stricken with the coronavirus. Have you had a chance to speak to him since everything went down?
Not only did I get a chance to speak to him, I went live with him. We was talking for almost an hour and a half, man, and I was kind of asking him a lot of things that I knew people wanted to get answers to, and we was just shooting the shit, and it was a dope moment in time. So yes, I have talked to him. He says nobody wants any of them problems whatsoever. He's still getting over it. You know, it's taking him like 2-3 weeks, maybe even a month to fully recover. So you know, he already had some other issues before, but man, this
Mm.
is a very serious pandemic, and people need to take it serious, especially here in Georgia, because they trying to advise it's okay to go back out. And my advice would be to chill out and stay inside for a little bit
Where
longer.
they?
For a
Yeah,
little
I
while.
got I got so many friends and family members down there. I got concerned when they started open up Georgia again. I'm like, yo, why are they trying to experiment and guinea pig my people out there? They know Georgia got Atlanta, the blackest.
Uh-oh. That ain't me. Shaheem, what's going on? This isn't a versus two, is it? Shaheem, you there? Oh man, come on, man. Is my studio the most powerful and consistent Wi-Fi on this thing we call Earth, ladies and gentlemen? Or is this a trick? Am I the one that's actually frozen and y'all can't hear me and Shaheem is continuing to talk right now? I don't know what's going on, but if it's over 100,000 people in here, then somebody tell me something. You
We
there?
back, we back, and we back. I don't know. I don't know what happened. You see, when I start talking politics, they try to shut me down.
Hey, it happens to the best of them. Yeah, man, you gotta chill out on that. I don't know if I was talking to the people or if I was frozen too, but I was hollering at them. I told them.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Um, you was on with LL Cool J. I saw that. Played that unreleased version of Fatty Girl. I remember that. I don't know if you remember the video shoot, but I remember the video shoot. It was
Do
Sauce
you
Weekend.
do you remember who was in the video shoot but never made the final cut of the video?
It's funny that you say cut, Mr. OJ Simpson. Mr.
Oh,
OJ.
that's hilarious, man. Yeah, OJ was in the video. Damn, man, there's so many phenomenal memories in the history of hip hop that people don't know. How can we get the original cut with OJ in the video? Shaka, Jeff, please make it happen. The world needs to see that because Superhead was dancing on OJ Simpson, and it was a bunch of girls dancing on him.
That
And this
was
is
a
when he had just got out.
phenomenal weekend, man. The Source Awards. It's a lot to explain, but they used to take over Miami, and every rapper, it was a rapper oasis. I remember leaving that video shoot and going right to see Jadakiss for the We Gonna Make It uh remix
Yeah,
video, not the original, the remix video. So
yeah.
we had a good time, man. You played that They Shooting Made You Look. You played the remix.
Woo.
I was right there in Webster Hall when Nas came out, brought y'all out and performed it. I think it was for a TV special, matter of fact. But what was it like? You played it on verses, but you got to tell the people what was it like teaming up Jada and Nas and doing that remix.
Listen, from that point on, after I did that remix, it was talk about being solidified and being put in a category this word lyricist is not lightly thrown around in this music industry. It's not lightly thrown around. And the feeling for me when I did that, with two rappers that I obviously admire, but are known in this damn industry as having straight up bars, and being on that remix, being asked to be on the remix in the first place. But anybody that's from the South or lived in the South and considers themselves a Southern rapper, when you get accepted into the NY lyricism category, there's no words that can truly explain that, because nobody can deny that you have to give New York its just due and its props for starting this entire art. So
Yeah.
when you get respected there, and y'all are the most opinionated motherfuckers in the world. So again, it's just like, yo, that's the thing about NY, man. Everybody, they tone, y'all got like, everybody has to have at least 3 or 4 jobs if you live in New York. Otherwise, you're not a true New Yorker. It's all type of side hustles, and y'all are the most opinionated. So people are scared to do shows there. But when you get love in New York, and that type of love with them two artists, I was good, bro. It was a done deal. I was good in the game. And the other time is when the tunnel used to be open, and I was a little fearful of performing What's Your Fantasy in the fucking tunnel. This place was known for fights and niggas getting, niggas getting they faces sliced up by razor blades under the tongue, and niggas
Everything.
getting stabbed and all this shit. And I remember being backstage and just coming in, and once I got on stage, I'm talking about the thuggest of all thugs. I wanna lick you from your head to your in the damn crowd. And I was just like, man, what the? I couldn't believe that shit, bro.
That
I
goes
was
to
like, I'm
being,
solidified in New York. Can't nobody tell me shit. I'm solidified in New York.
yeah. Now, another milestone moment for you, man. You are one of the only people to have Jay-Z and Nas on a record together.
Man, that's why I'm glad I got to play I Do It for Hip Hop, man. That's just one of those records that I just feel like over time people going to have to keep back and keep going listening to that shit. And that's why I played it at the beginning of the verses. And I failed to mention that I told them there's 2. If I have to play any guest appearances during this verses, there's 2 that I absolutely have to play. It was Sierra O and that Major Look remix. But to go back to the I Do It for Hip Hop, when I got them 2 on that record, man, again, if I wasn't already solidified by being on a record with Nas and Jada, having them 2 on the same record was priceless. Priceless.
You've been solidified. I want to pull up a picture, man. I'm gonna show you a picture, and this is gonna bug you out. Y'all got the picture in there, and y'all got to send me the questions for the fans too. You see the picture?
Yeah.
Yo, believe it or not, that is my brother.
Oh shit.
That is
Wow.
my blood brother, different mother, same father, and his name is Chris.
Oh man. How much can we pay this nigga to be a stunt double or be a stand-in at times when I can't be there? Especially during quarantine. I'm about to have him do my whole shit.
Come on, Chris. I know you watching, man. I got you a job, man. Just give me a low PC. You know what I'm saying? We got the questions from Twitch coming up. They pulling the questions back up. But in the meantime, tell me about this thing you doing for the children, man.
Man, so it's basically during these quarantine times, we really need something that, because it's all these parents doing homeschooling, all the kids is out of school. So I'm like, how can I do something to entertain the kids and to entertain the parents and to help them through these times, but also enrich all of the kids with positive content? The way to do that, recreate the music industry as we know it, but by kids and for kids, with banging ass beats like we talking about with hip hop, and
Mm-hmm.
nothing that you've ever seen before, revolutionizing musical education, because we know the power of music change things. So right now we only have 1 video up because it's a soft launch, but expect more videos and more songs on kidnation.com. So anybody that's on here, make sure you go to kidnation.com and make sure you follow Kid Nation on Instagram for all things that we're going to maneuver through this world. We got the first video up called Stay Clean, and it's talking about washing your hands, and it's really catchy. And if you let your kids listen and watch this video, they're going to start taking on a life of washing their hands on their own more frequently. And we all know that's the #1 way to fight this virus and to fight infections, period. So I'm trying to change the world, Shaheem. That's what I'm trying to do. Kid Nation.
You doing a great job, man, and salute to you on just being such a great family, man. During the whole verses, I seen your wife chiming in with the fire emojis and all that, riding for you. I think that's dope, man, and we got to see
Gotta have
our
a ride or die.
relationship. You got to, man.
Yeah,
You got to. You doing it right.
absolutely.
So we got the questions up. We got a few questions before we get out of here. Alex Chronolight 17. This is on Twitch. Alex Chronolight 17 says, "Is Luda gonna do anything with Eminem before the world ends?"
I just did a live question and answer on Twitter like 2 days ago, and somebody asked me who I wanted to collaborate with, and I said Eminem. I feel very strong and have faith that that will happen, especially since I'm getting back in music mode and people hear my tone. It's just about finding the right song. It's about finding the right thing for us to do. So I'm gonna make it happen, man. That's one thing I have to do.
I want to see that, and I want to see. I think I want to see Skateboard make that beat for y'all. I want. I
Has
want.
Eminem ever been on a Pharrell beat? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I
Huh.
don't think so, man. What was the science behind Nelly not getting on Moneymaker? I remember we did an interview about it about 15 years ago, but I can't remember the reason.
I don't know the exact reason. I just know that he had the song with Janet Jackson, and from what I heard, they were not going to clear my record when he was on that record with her at the same time. So we had clearance issues.
Damn, record label getting in the way of the art, man.
Yeah,
This
man.
this new music you putting out is it gonna be independent or you gonna rock with a major? How you doing it?
Man, there's some things that I cannot divulge right now, but I will let you know that these songs are coming out definitely within the next 2 weeks or so. Now, whether it starts off independent and picks up somewhere else, we'll see. But I'm in the midst of just doing some things and making some big things happen so that I can get as much music to the world as possible and push it the right way. That's all I can. That's the kind of the hint that I could give, but I
The
can't necessarily
prices
say
went
what
up.
format it's going
That
to
mean the prices went up after that versus. They said, "Yo,
yeah.
let's write these guys some checks." Jeff Shaka back to brake trucks up.
Yeah,
We're gonna do
right,
it.
man. Yeah, man. We all we gonna do is give it right back to the community through Kid Nation. That's what I was saying. So let's
You
go.
you play some really dope music on verses. There was this one record, I don't know the name of it, but it was provocative. You mentioned R. Kelly, you mentioned Roseanne Barr with the racism, man. Can you tell me about that record?
Wordplay. Yeah,
Wordplay.
it's called Silence of the Lambs. It's featuring Lil Wayne. You got to listen to the. I mean, you can go on anything and watch the verses, and you can listen to the first verse and try to decipher some of the things that I'm saying. But there's a message in every word. Just believe that, and there's definitely analogies and metaphors, wordplay, and it provokes a hell of a lot of thought. We've already provoked a lot of thought, but Silence of the Lambs is coming out within. Hopefully, I'm gonna say within the next week. Hopefully I don't get in trouble with that, but we're doing everything impossible to push that out.
That's gonna be good. Is it fun for you as an artist to make people, I don't want to say a little squeamish, but like just give them a little shock value, because people mentioning R. Kelly these days, and Roseanne Barr, what she did is not the norm, man. But we know your history from Bill O'Reilly and everybody that can step to the plate for you.
Man, I love people who don't compromise their art, man. And I know that there are consequences to each and everything when it comes to stuff like this, but I feel like art is supposed to create conversation if it's really good art. I don't care what form of entertainment that is. You know damn well when you go see a phenomenal movie, you might go eat or something with your friends after that, and if it's really a good movie, you talking about that shit. And same thing with songs. Once you hear something, you gotta play it back. You gotta listen to it again, and it makes you reflect on your own thoughts and things that are human, because we're all human and we're all conflicted on a lot of different subject matters. And when some people are so opinionated and they're like, man, life has a way of slapping you upside the head when you are hard headed and when you are judging something too hard. And these are the types of conversations and things that when you are bold and when you are brave enough to say certain things that you know you're not the only person thinking, that's when the greatest art, the greatest music, and the greatest movies come about. Period.
Yeah. It's about being provocative, man. Uh I'm trying to look and see use on Twitch says are there any new artists today that's giving you inspiration?
Absolutely. Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, those are the top two. Um, damn, man. I mean, trying to think between those two, those are the ones that inspire me still to this day. I'm sure there are others, but not as consistent as those two.
And those are guys we talk about legends, man. Like those are guys who haven't necessarily been out uh 15, 20 years, but man, people are talking about them. They giving them that legend title already. That's how
They
powerful
deserve it.
it is.
They deserve
Yo,
it.
yo, when I went to Coachella, when Kendrick headlined Coachella, this was just as he put that damn album out, they said forget it, he's the GOAT. There was his fans, and I'm a tremendous fans of Kendrick. I love that Top Dog is one of the most successful black executives, and he's doing it from where he's from and never compromising what they do. But yeah, man, them diehard Kendricks was like, yo, he is the GOAT right now. And it's like he got a body of work. He got classics under his belt, man.
And
So
he's not afraid to push the envelope, and he's not afraid to be different. And I remember him saying something in some interview that he always strives to just do something completely opposite of what everybody else is doing when it comes to doing laying verse. He only likes to do shit if it challenges him, and I can respect that.
yeah, he's real quiet right now, and I think he's about to come with some thunder real soon, man. Because
Probably so.
he's so quiet right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Man, I would love to see y'all get in the ring and just have a lot of fun, man, and just the
Yeah.
flows, the flows that y'all could do.
I know, man. Shaheem, I gotta ask you a question, bro. I'm curious to know. You could say two or three, but who would you love to see wise in the battle in the verses? I'm curious to know. Like, it's so, to people to me are making all
Yeah,
these matchups that don't make any damn sense to me. So I mean, I
yeah.
know you're a hip hop head. Curious to know your thoughts. Who would be a perfect? Give me two or three. Would be the dope verses.
Well, I definitely thought it was dope when they said Usher versus Justin Timberlake because to me they was having their own verses for their career anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like they was on the same label. Usher would come out one year, annihilate the entire year, win all the awards, sell out all of the tours, and then he stepped back. And who come out the next year after Usher?
That's real.
JT, and do
True.
the same exact thing. And they got the connection. They've done records with Hove, they've done records with Pharrell, Timberland. So I would love to see them get busy. Um, Man, I want to see Mary J. I would love to see Mary J come in, but it's just like, damn. To me, the only person that could actually, like, really would make sense for Mary J is Beyonce at this certain point. Um, if R. Kelly didn't get into trouble, it would have been interesting to see the King of Queens or R&B go at it.
Wow.
That would have been
Wow.
crazy because they got records that just like really touch your soul.
Absolutely. You still ain't gave me no rappers yet though. I asked you rap. You
Oh,
gave me
rappers,
R and
rap.
B.
Let's go rappers. Let's go rappers. Let's go rappers. Uh, I mean,
Guess what I suggested,
I,
Shaheem?
I would love to see Bun B. Pimp C no longer here, but I'd like to see Bun B, UGK, and Outkast getting on. Just the influence alone.
That's dope. Guess who I suggested that
What'd
I
you
thought would
say?
be dope. Redman versus Method Man. And I know that they playing, but how dope would that
Ah,
be? That would be dope to me.
that's crazy.
Extra
That's
dope.
a
And then you already know
that's
their
a no brainer.
personalities. It's gonna be a show, not just because of music, them niggas make everybody die laughing.
That's a
Period.
no brainer. That's a no brainer.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
see Hove get in it. Hove got to get in it, man. I
For
want to
Hope
see.
need 4 hours worth of time. Like,
Yeah,
come on, man.
I
What
mean,
could Jay-Z got so many records?
it
Who
would
the
it
hell
would
can Jay-Z go up against?
it would have to be M. It got to be M down. Hove and M.
These conversations are great. These are great conversations.
These these
Some of these battles I don't understand, but it's all G.
these
It's
are
all
great.
G.
Producers, Dr. Dre and Puff. People been wanting. That talk was in the air too. So I think it's dope, man, because we just celebrating. I think with DJ Premier and RZA, it kind of switched the tone a little bit because you know they was when Swiss was in it, Swiss talking the most shit ever. Swiss. I was there in the studio. Swiss and Just Blaze, they going at it respectfully, having fun, but make no mistake, they was battling. They
Yeah.
was trying to one up each other. But I think once T Pain and Lil Jon, they was battling. I think when RZA and DJ Premier got to it, it kind of changed the tone from okay, we ain't really trying to battle, but we really celebrating each other and telling all of these great stories. And I think it's dope. But I would love to see somebody get into it. A couple of
Yeah.
battles, man. A couple of
Yeah.
battles.
Yeah, the last thing I'll end with is, man, I was telling people you got to be very careful when dealing with rappers because our whole foundation is based off of battling and really having a guard up because you never know when you're gonna have to use something against somebody because that's so, it's hard to find certain personalities that are actually going to keep it sport and not say any slick shit to each other because niggas is saying all type of subliminals to all type of people in their records. So it's not easy to just be like, yeah, we just gonna throw these rappers in there because shit might get a little intense. Then niggas start yelling at each other over the screen. That's gonna feel good. Like it's just not good.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who 50 get in there with.
50 ain't going against nobody except Snoop. Them two niggas are cool with each other, but I'm like 50. I love 50, but I'm like, who the hell can 50 go against? Him and M? It could only be people that ain't cool with, and that's my guy, man. I'm just like, come on, bro. It's
It's
got to be
fun,
Snoop.
man. It's brilliant. Chris, we looking forward to all of this great music, man. Um,
Thank you, sir.
Real quick before we close out, what is it like working with Usher and John again, man? Like y'all got nothing but classic records together, and I know y'all was supposed to do that project when Lovers and Friends came out, man.
Yeah. No, it's great working with three different, completely different personalities. We even talking about a hopeful tour one day as well. But I mean, we all bring something different to the table, three different talents. So it's just like we all stay in our own lane. And I think that's what makes it so special, man. And we complete the cipher of what music is. The melodies, you got the hard ass beats, you know what I mean? And you got Lil Jon with the hype man and the ad libs, and then you got me with the flows. I mean, like, what more do you want out of life? Period.
Crazy, crazy. This the one to leave on for the debate when we get part two. I know you gotta go, but I wanted both verses are super classic. I want the people on Twitch to tell me what is their favorite verse. Is it Luda on Yeah or Luda and Lovers and Friends? Both verses classic.
Wow.
Nothing whack.
Wow.
Both classic verses. I'm leaning towards Lovers and Friends, man. You reference Bud, Rudy Huxtable. Come
That's dope.
on, man. Yeah,
Rudy Huxtable. She was in there too, which is
yes.
crazy.
All right,
I don't
part
even know.
two.
Those are two totally different records, so that's a hard one for me. But damn, that's bro. I don't. That's a hard one. I'm
Let's
curious to know
go.
what the people say.
Twitch, let us know, man. Chris, we done broke the record. We over 100 something thousand live people watching us, man. I appreciate you,
Dope.
my brother. And part
Appreciate you,
two.
man. Always good conversations, man. And this is history right now. This is great, man. Let's continue having these conversations and shifting this thing we call the culture of music.
Let's do it, man. You know it's always love, man. I'll see you soon. As soon as we get out of this.
Love. All right.
Yes, sir. Everybody, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Each week gets bigger and bigger. over 100,000 people tuning in right now. This is glorious, and we just gonna keep bringing y'all nothing but the dopest in hip hop. Great conversations every week. I love y'all, Shaheem Reid. This is the walkthrough. You see, I got M and Biggie in the back. I had to bring them in, so there we are. Love y'all.